with Jessa. Today I am talking about WandaVision Episode 4. I know it's kind of late by the time I'm putting this up. Episode 5 is going to be out. But you know what? That's okay because there was a lot that happened during Episode 4. But also, it felt like one of the quickest episodes to me. So, let's discuss. So, as always, this video is going to have spoilers for WandaVision, basically episodes 1 through 4 at this point, so be prepared for that. So this one starts out completely different from the rest of them. We don't start out with Wanda or Vision. There's no more sitcoms. This is like a Marvel TV show. This was just so cinematic. It just felt completely different. And I knew that, I was ready for it. I knew that we were going to get intense things. And it basically, the episode was catching us up on what was going on in episodes 1 through 3. So the timeline that we finally have gathered of when the heck this is taking place is right around the time of, it's like right in between Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home. So in this scene, we see Monica Rambeau, who is Geraldine. She is coming back from the snap. Or they call it the blip, and I still hate that. I don't know why, but, I just don't like it. I call it the snap, and that's what it is for me. But we see her coming back, all of the dusty particles that everyone turned into. Coming back, forming Monica. She's in a hospital, and now people are freaking out because, there's so many people just appearing in hospitals because you appear from where you disappeared from. And she's looking at her hospital bed, and she's like, where am I? What's going on? Where is my mother? Because that was who was in the bed. So she's running around. Chaos ensues in the hospital. She runs into the doctor that was working on her mom. And she's like, where's, my mom? I gotta go home. And the doctor's like, she actually died of cancer. And Monica's confused because she's like, no, she was fine. We were going home today. She was being discharged. You said it was fine. And the doctor had to explain to her, quickly as all of this chaos is going on, basically that her mother did die about 2-3 years ago, which was about 2 to 3 years after Monica disappeared, because 5 years has passed from the time Thanos snapped to when everyone finally came back. So her mother, who was Maria Rambeau, we know her from Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel's best friend when she was in the military as Carol Danvers. She has actually started the organization SWORD. And if the timeline for the MCU is correct, this is also around the same time that, did he start S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point? Nick Fury? I know he was doing the Avengers Initiative, so it was probably right around the same time. So there's now S.H.I.E.L.D. and SWORD, which that just makes me very happy because those are the two names of the Pokemon games that have come out for the Switch, and I don't know, I love that so much. But I know that's just a coincidence. I just think it's hysterical. So, Monica's mother started the organization of SWORD, and obviously Monica is a part of it, but she's coming back, and she has a meeting with the new director, who I guess took over after her mother passed away, and he's like, look, we're going to put you on a ground mission, that's what your mom wanted for everyone who came back from the snap, we're going to put you on a ground mission. So she's sent to Westview, New Jersey, to investigate a missing persons unit. And when she gets there, she actually meets up with Agent Jimmy Woo from the FBI, who we know from Ant-Man and the Wasp because he was the guy in charge of making sure that Scott didn't violate his probation. And the best thing happened, and I can't believe I didn't see this at first, but when he went to show his FBI card, he did the close-up magic trick of making it appear out of nowhere, because that's what Scott was doing to impress him or whatever. It was so funny, and I love that. So they talked to some of the local police, and they're like, look, there's no such thing as Westview, this is Eastview, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're looking out on an abandoned town that does have a big sign that says Westview, New Jersey, but no one besides Woo and Monica can see it. So Monica sends a drone off into the city, but then the drone disappears out of nowhere. So her and Agent Woo go closer, and they realize it is a forest field thing. So this field is made of cosmic microwave background, which is similar to what happened during the Big Bang. So Monica goes, and she's trying to reach in, she's trying to touch it, and then when she touches it, she actually gets sucked in. So basically 24 hours later, the director of SWORD, along with the FBI, they're bringing in all these different people. They're bringing in chemical engineers and microbiologists, and they bring in Darcy Lewis, who we remember from the Thor movies, or at least the first two ones, as being Natalie Portman's, Jane Foster's best friend, which I have to give an apology to Darcy Lewis. I thought that in the movies, she was just supposed to be kind of like the ditzy best friend to the really smart Natalie Portman, but she's actually like a doctor too in astrophysics, so props to you, girl. Like, we love our women in STEM. So Darcy and Jimmy Woo instantly become friends, and now I know that we need another spin-off show just with the two of them. It has been so much fun watching them work together during this episode, and I'm looking forward to more of it. I'm excited for the two of them. And like I said, I know Marvel announced like all those other TV shows, but here's another one that needs to be put into production. So Darcy's actually the one that recognizes that the field is made up of CMBR, the cosmic microwave background, radiation, and so she's like, look, this is a lot of radiation, and she's trying to like figure out everything that's going on, and then she starts seeing blips of the first 50 sitcom that we see, and she's like, okay, I need an old style TV. So they bring in an old style TV, and she's watching the sitcom. So at the end of the very first episode, we saw that someone was watching the show, and they like had a little notebook, and they were taking notes, and they closed it. That's actually Darcy that's doing that. So her and Agent Woo are trying to like figure out, what the heck is going on. And then they're realizing that the cast in this TV show are real people, not who they say they are or pretending that they're, who they're cast as. So from the first episode, Mr. and Mrs. Hart, the couple who came over for dinner, we figure out that they're real people who live in New Jersey. All of Vision's co-workers are real people who live in New Jersey. And so we're figuring out that these are real people who are playing like a role, and that's when Darcy spots Monica in the show as Geraldine. And then we also figure out that it was Darcy and Agent Woo trying to contact Wanda through the radio in the second episode, the 60s episode, where Wanda hears that sound of Wanda, can you hear me? That was Darcy and Agent Woo trying to get in contact with her, see what the heck is going on. So then we get to the most recent episode, the 70s episode, where Wanda and Vision have their children, and this is where, again, Monica mentions Ultron. She mentions Ultron, and Wanda's like, okay, I know that you're like not real, you're not here. So from that, it makes it seem like that she has tricked everyone else into the show except for Monica. Because when she figures out, she's like, you're an outsider, you don't belong here. Like, she magics her away and blows her out of the forest field area. So that's when everyone surrounds her at the end of the episode, like we saw for episode 3, and she's like, it's Wanda, it's all Wanda. And what I really like that I forgot to mention before in the previous episode, because in episode 3 was the first time that they did it, was that they do this amazing thing with the screen where there's black bars like on the sides for when it's the TV show, and then when it's a movie, there's black bars like on the top and the bottom, like you see in the movie theater. So whenever there's something on the television that like Darcy and Agent Woo can see, there's black bars on the side. But when there's black bars on top, like the whole thing of Wanda blasting off Monica, we didn't see that in the little screen. There's actually like a glitch where like Monica's there, and then like the credits roll for the show. And Darcy notices this. She's like, where the heck did Monica go? Like, what just happened? And they're trying to, rewind and do everything, and they can't figure it out. So Wanda is actually, like, manipulating the show as well for what people can see. Which, I mean, I guess is kind of obvious, but I really like how they would, like, stretch out the screen and then, like, pull it down. Like, when they were doing, like, the behind-the-scenes kind of thing. I just thought that was so cool and so creative and something that you wouldn't really think about before. Like, I watch old TV shows now. I watch The Nanny at night, like on Cozy TV, and they have like the black bars on the sides because that show's from like the 90s. And also during this, you can definitely tell that Vision is starting to realize that something is up. It's not just this happy world. We actually see him for like the scariest moment ever, where he's actually dead. So Wanda briefly looks at him again when we're in the screen like this, not like this, and it's the vision of him like when he's like all grayed out, when the stone is ripped out of his head, so he's got that big hole in his head, and he's like, Wanda, what's wrong? And she's trying to fix everything. She's like, no, like, this is our home now, we belong here. But you can definitely tell that Vision is thinking some thoughts. He's like, something isn't adding up here. And that's basically where the episode ends. And so It felt so quick. I just wanted more. I'm still so frustrated that these episodes aren't hours long or an hour long. I expected them to be. I feel like these next two have to be. There's still so much we have to go through. We have to go through the 80s, we have to go through the 90s because there's been previews of that. And plus, now that we're in the real world, we got to figure out what the heck is going on with everything involved. There's just still so many questions. And now we do have Monica saying, like, oh, it's Wanda, it's all Wanda. But I don't think that's completely accurate. Again, I still don't really have any answers for this right now, but I think that Wanda is controlling manipulating the people around her and everything, but I still think she is being told to do this, or she is being tricked to do this, because she's definitely using it as a coping mechanism if no one is controlling her. But I think someone could have definitely used her weakness and her sadness of losing vision to manipulate her and try to get her to say things or reveal things or just do something, because I think someone is definitely... I still don't trust Agnes, and I love that actress, Catherine Hahn, but I still don't trust her, and I don't know. It's just, I'm really interested to see where the show is going to go. But, that's basically all that I have. Let me know if you've seen WandaVision, what you guys are thinking so far. Any questions that you may have, because I still have, a bunch. Let me know all that down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on gabbing.